I hope so. So it always adds a dimension. Does anyone have a question?
I have a question, Stuart.
Yes.
I find that when I do this work, that there are pockets of deep fear in my heart. How do I find the strength to move through this and not hold on to it?
Isabel, it's not this work. It's the fear that's in your heart. And this meditation practice, as I always say, it's like drilling for oil. You drill through bedrock inside yourself and you begin to hit situations inside that need to be cleaned up. The fear that you feel has nothing to do with this meditation. It has to do with something that's been part of you probably for most of your life and that created many, many problems for you when you were younger. How do you get rid of it? I mean, you got to flush it out. You have to make it part of the flow of Shakti in your chakra system. You have to bring it to the navel below the chakra, transform it into chi. You have to draw it through the sex to the base of the spine. You know, it's the work you do on yourself and the growth that takes place inside you because of the work is, absolutely of a great importance in eliminating fear. Fear is part of every human being. We build walls around ourselves. I talk about this a lot. We develop all this kind of false security, protection against the world, not getting involved with other people, this and that and the other. And it's just a way of, shutting ourselves off from life, thinking we're going to get hurt again. One has to be a warrior. You have to open and release all of that stuff. And yes, it's going to be painful. It's going to be difficult. You're not going to like it unless you happen to be a little crazy and you enjoy fear, you know, but you can get rid of it by building the chakra system and getting strong enough to truly surrender it in great depth. So it's not the meditation that brings about fear, it's there. And the meditation takes you there and says, hey, this is what you got to get free of. This is your problem. And this is a problem that will cripple you the rest of your life unless you truly learn how to get free of it. How do you get free of it? You've got to build a system inside yourself that's strong enough to just surrender it, to let it go, to not be imprisoned by it. I mean, yes, there are things you can do that can sugarcoat it. I can make you believe it's gone. But it doesn't work. You understand? It's like veneer on furniture in the middle of a rainstorm. As soon as the going gets tough, you understand the veneer peels up. But getting in there and releasing it and building the psychic muscle system inside yourself that's strong enough to truly be free of it, that creates an amazing human being. Creates a remarkable human being who can truly deal with all the kind of madness we have to deal with in life. And I think that's one of the wonderful aspects of this meditation is it doesn't sugarcoat your problems. It's not I'm all right, you're all right. Yeah, I'm okay, you're okay. It really takes you there. And you have to be a warrior. You have to be a spiritual warrior. Saying my spiritual life is more important than being imprisoned by fear. And I will work on myself and truly, you know, get rid of it. And I'm not talking from not having been through it. I spent years of my life having to work through that. But you finally get free of it. You don't sugarcoat it and pretend that it's gone away. And I know when I was younger, I had so much fear in me. I had so much insecurity in me. You know, people don't believe that the way I live today and what I do. But I'm telling you, I had huge insecurity in my life. And I never knew how I was going to get rid of it. But I spent years of my life looking for somebody who can truly teach me how to get rid of it. I went to therapists, it never worked. I went to this one, that one. I did hatha yoga. I did all kinds of, nothing got deep enough in my heart chakra to truly clean it up of the fear. And then I met Rudy. And what was the first thing I had to learn? Patience. It took you all these years to get this way. Not going to go away as quickly as you would like it to go away. Patience, time, working on yourself. And and probably more than anything, having a need inside that is so deep to have a spiritual life that you can no longer afford to be trapped by fear. I mean, I hope that helps, because I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I can be, could be goody goody and, this and that, and it's okay, but it doesn't really work. Because as soon as you step out in heavy weather, that fear comes right up. As soon as the going gets rough, and the going gets rough in everybody's life, there's always going to be something to test us. And have we built a system to deal with it? Have we transformed that insecurity and that fear into a spiritual life? That's the determination, not building another wall around it to hide behind. It takes guts to do what I'm talking about. You've got to be a warrior. And the only person you're going to slay in being a warrior is yourself. You slay all these, kind of demons that live inside, these dragons that live inside us that create fear and insecurity and guilt and, a laundry list of stuff that keeps people from ever truly growing and having a spiritual life. And you got to realize if you do this, you're not going to hurt anybody else. You're going to truly slay yourself. And I'm not talking about suicide. I'm talking about killing the fear, killing the guilt, killing the insecurity in yourself, getting rid of it. And I know I spent a lifetime doing this, and I can tell you it works. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I mean, honestly, there's nothing that any human being on this planet needs to feel guilty about. I mean, when I used to teach in prisons, I think I said this in the last class or one of the classes recently. One of the first things I told the inmates there is that I don't give a damn what you did in the past. You know, this class is about learning to live in this moment and building your life from now forward. And whatever you did in the past, it's got to be surrendered. You have to let go of it. Because once you do that, frankly, nobody gives a shit what you did in the past, honestly. They really don't. They see this glowing, beautiful human being who full of love and full of joy, and it doesn't matter, you know. You could have been a murderer, you could have been this, that. It doesn't really matter to people. So the whole point of all of this is to let go of all that stuff in the past and to live in the moment. Does anyone else have a question? And that's the way I look at people. I don't care what anybody's done in their past. I'm not here to judge people. I'm not here to, you know, look at them and, oh, you're a this, you're a that, you're up, you know, do you want to grow? Do you want to grow spiritually? That's the only concern I have. Do you want to build an inner life for yourself? Do you want to connect with God? Do you want to be able to transform all the things you've done into a spiritual life? Other than that, you know, I don't know how else to approach it. Because to me, everything else is just ridiculous, you know, sitting in judgment of other human beings, being better than people, other people. It's all nonsense, you know. It goes one place, right to the grave. Does anyone else have a question?
Hi, Stuart, it's Alicia.
Yes,
Um, I'm still having a hard time when I have anger or hate directed towards me. I'm still struggling sometimes to be able to not absorb it as and and believe it. Um, if you could just talk about that a little more again.
uh, look, you get in life what you give off. And if somebody is angry at you, if they're this, that, you know, there's negativity coming to you, you have to change inside. You have to build yourself inside to a, you know, that anger that somebody, it'll melt before it even gets to you. And that's what those people are telling you, you know? They're telling you, Alicia, you got to grow. They're teachers in a very strange way. You have to grow. And when you start growing that way, you stop attracting that. I mean it, because you give all what you give off, you get back. And if there's that fear in you, that anger in you, and all the things that people have done to you inside, and that's what kind of, whether you know it consciously or unconsciously, you're giving that off. And it comes back. So those people that do that kind of stuff, you know, I mean, in a strange and difficult way, they're like one's teacher. They're telling you that you have to grow. And if you really do grow and build the kind of system that I talk about, that system is so strong that it wards off the anger. You know, I mean, when Rudy told me that when he used to he went to Nityananda's to see him, and he said, about 3 miles from the ashram where Nityananda lived, all the anger in Rudy disappeared. He said, I just felt it coming out of me, going away. And when I came finally to Nityananda, where he lived, I brought him a mala of flowers and this, and my heart was wide open. And I was able to, Nityananda's energy was so strong that it dissolved the negativity before Rudy even got there. Now, Nityananda was this extraordinary soul, but that doesn't mean there isn't a person here who cannot do the same thing. And I know I used to get tons of people yelling at me, fighting with me, arguing with me. I don't really have that anymore. People bring flowers. They come with an open heart. They come with love. And I had the other for years. I have students that would fight with me tooth and nail. I never forget it. And, I don't have that. I began to recognize them as being a teacher for me. Stuart, you have to grow. Don't blame them. You have to grow. You have to get stronger. You have to have a more highly developed chakra system. That's what they are telling you. And if you develop that chakra system and grow like that, you don't really attract people like that anymore. And it's always easy to blame the external world, the objective world, for our problems, but it's not the objective world. It's us. It's telling us, it's a mirror of who we are and saying, look, this is the work you have to do on yourself. Then if you do the work, that mirror, the reflection in the mirror changes. And people start bringing you love and flowers and kindness and gratitude. And there are other people that don't, because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And there'll always be somebody that'll come along with some kind of stuff, reminding you you're not perfect. You still have to grow. And again, this takes guts. You have to be kind of a warrior in yourself. And above everything, you have to need deeply to have a spiritual life, because that will give you the courage and the energy to get through anything. Doesn't matter what anyone says to you, that will give you the strength to get through it. And I'm not saying I have people come to me with all kinds of nonsense sometimes, And again, I don't get upset at them. I just say, okay, Stuart, you have to grow. I just tell myself that. Does anyone else have a question? I hope that's clear, Lisa.
Yeah.
So don't be angry at whoever it is that does this. Say, okay, I can get stronger. I can grow. They are telling me they're a reflection of what in me that needs to get stronger, that needs to truly grow. You have classes here. You have this crazy guru that lives in America that can help you do it. And I love to help people do that. I really do. It's really the whole focus of my life, being a servant of higher energy and helping people to master themselves inside.
Stuart,
Yes.
I find the challenge in bringing the warrior aspect of myself out when I am trying to overcome the resistance of my subconscious trying to keep things status quo.
Good. The resistance are like internal dragons that live in us that want to eat us alive. You've got to be a warrior. You know? I mean, throughout history, there have always been the battle of dragons, and that goes on in every human being, you know? Just a metaphor for what goes on in you have to be a warrior to overcome your own resistance, to overcome the resistance of the external world, you know, other people's righteousness. You have to live this way. You know, well, I'm not, well, you just grow past it. You've got to be a warrior, first of all, to overcome your own resistance. All the walls that one builds around themselves that supposedly protect them against light, and it doesn't. It just makes light as worse. The real protection is being open. Then nobody can hurt you. And this probably goes against everything that's taught. You're open up, you can get hurt. No, when you're really open, people have to, you know, to get to you, they have to open in themselves. And if they open in themselves, they're not going to do anything to hurt you. So don't worry.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome, Larry. Don't worry about being a warrior with your own resistance. Very healthy. Very healthy. Does anyone else have a question? Like, okay, have a happy holidays, and God bless you all. You know, I told you, you know, your presence in my life is a great miracle. That there's a thing called Zoom is a great miracle. To allow people to come here from all over the world and to be part of this is a great miracle. It is teaching me so much that I just have an enormous amount of gratitude to each and every one of you. God bless you and thank you. It'll be class on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Very wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Hola. No, más que suerte, no soy una nata para